to continue to clean out the shop and working on organizing things here in 2020. We are going to be taking out all the Christmas from this display. We're also going to show you how we organize our back room paint display and putting in some new items to spruce it up for the new year.
So we're using these big boxes that we get from Costco when we go shopping there, and they make great sturdy boxes that we can actually stack if we need to, and they hold a lot of stuff.
I also like it because I can see what's in them, so that helps out a lot. I'm wondering if these are ever going to sell. We made them a few years ago.
So all of the Christmas that we had consolidated into this corner is now in boxes. We were able to fit it in 4 boxes and the Christmas tree. Then we have those 2 signs that are left, and we will leave those down in the basement until next year. That way we can just pull it out and we're ready to go, and we'll add some new decor in as we go.
So these 2 pieces have a Christmas stencil on them. Rather than hold them on till next year, it's really simple. We'll just take them in the back, lightly sand them, repaint them, and put a new fresh stencil on them, put them back out on the floor.
All right, so we're gonna start by clearing this out. Sometimes you have to clear space and move it to another spot and then organize it as you put it back in.
So when we first get started, we're gonna separate things into needs to be put away, doesn't have a spot yet, garbage. Throw away anything that's garbage while you're going, so that way you're not having to work with that later. There's not a lot of room over there, so in the meantime, these flowers were over in that display area over there. So I'm gonna get them ready, and I'm gonna be working on some flower displays while he just basically gets it all unloaded. I'm gonna use some twine from over there and tie them together and put it back on it.
Okay.
I think it's on that shelf.
Yep, I've got 2 options for you.
All right, are there scissors over there?
Not handy. Oh, here we go. Scissors.
Would it be weird to just put 1 white flower in the mix?
I don't know.
It needs it.
It needs the one.
It needs 1 more. It's not full enough, so it's gonna get it.
I've ran out of room on the table, but I think I've got most of the tools out. So what I'm gonna do, I have these 4 shelves nice and cleared out. I'm gonna start organizing the tools over onto this space here before I clear too much more off. That way I can kind of go in stages and it doesn't get so cluttered that I just can't do anything with it at all. So to make better use of our shelving, we went and got about $20 worth of organization supplies from the dollar store. And they work pretty well. They're not super heavy duty, but for holding paintbrushes and things, they work really good. I'm thinking this size here will be good for all of my fasteners. I don't have too many here. Staples for the staple gun. We got wax, some glue sticks, the glue gun. I'm gonna put the zip ties in here, and also the sticks for putting on the transfers. Tape can go in this one. Other glues.
So right now I'm organizing my make and take brushes. I like to use these from the dollar store because they have a handle on them, so it makes them easy to move around. I use the cheap foam brushes for make and takes, but when I do classes, I bring out the good brushes. Sometimes we'll have 50 or 100 people doing a free make and take at an event, so it's much easier to just use these, and then as they get bad, we just throw them away and purchase new ones. You can pick them up relatively inexpensive at Walmart or Amazon.
And then this old Tupperware bin without a lid has volunteered to be the small hand tool / screwdriver and plier bin, and I've just got the tape measure in here with it too.
And we have our old brushes bin right here. It's obviously overflowing. So luckily I did pick up another one at the dollar store. So I will separate these all out. These are actually need to be moved into the class bin. Over here we've got my little buckets. Some of them are gonna be empty for a little bit because I have more at home that I need to bring. But this is just for inks, and ink pads fit perfectly in them. And then when I'm ready to use them, I can just pull the whole basket. And then I'm also using one for just little milk paints, because every now and then you just have leftover samples and they're like the perfect size to hold up milk paints.
So in here I've got a collection of old knobs and drawer pulls and some wheels and things to fix dressers. So I'm gonna keep those here at the shop, and I'll just leave those kind of over here with the fasteners.
Now I'm going through the paint, just checking if it feels like it's a little bit low, just making sure it's not all dried up. If there's a little bit left, I always save it because you can use it for stenciling. I'll put ones over here that Zeb has to open because they're too hard to open. And then some of them just get damaged in shipping. That's how I use them. I'm pretty sure this one's dried out. Yeah. This stuff is fine right here. I need to get all my patinas.
Here's a wayward glove.
A wayward.
I've got some beeswax.
Okay. Dark and decrepit.
Here's a bunch of.
That's the wax there.
There's a bunch of
Sandpaper that
sanding
goes
discs.
over here.
Hammer can go back on the shelf.
Where does it go?
It goes over here, just on the shelf.
There. Okay, so I have my IOD molds, and I'm actually just going to put these in here this way. These are the skinnier containers from the dollar store. It would actually be really great if we put a label on the top of each of them, but I'm not gonna get that organized.
It's pretty quick to just file through them.
Well, there are a lot now.
There are a lot.
I also have room in here for some clay, so I'll probably get some clay in here, and then, so if you wanna grab me that baking soda that's there? Well, there's some clay.
Someday you'll get cornstarch in it.
Yeah, someday I'll remember cornstarch, but we'll get the clay and the baking soda right here. So that I've got all my molds and what I need to do with them together.
You can pick up the paint, waxes, and brushes at JamiRayVintage.com.
All right, I'm just painting over these Christmas stencils rather than stick these in backstock. It takes about, I don't know, 30 seconds, and I'll have this top done, and then we'll just re-stencil them and just re-wax the top.
All right, so over here we've got projects that need to be finished, that are half done, or need to get started. These salt and pepper shakers need to be milk painted and shipped out, and then we need to get a couple extra coats on a few things, and then distress and seal most of it, and then it'll be ready to go get priced and go out on the floor. So I'm mixing up some milk paint. The Farmhouse Finishes already has a bonding agent added into it, so we don't have to do much with it. We don't have to add any extra bond. It stuck really well the last time we did this, and I could get out the immersion blender, but I'm just gonna whisk this because it's such a small amount. And this is just a throwaway whisk we picked up at the dollar store. It's working great.
I want it to kind of swag over the side.
So these thumbtacks are gonna be our best friends. So you want it to swag over the side.
A little bit, like I just want it to really fill that space up there.
Does that work for you?
That is perfect.
Okay.
I'll put a little will it be able, like if somebody wants to buy it, that they can take it off?
It has two thumbtacks in there. They're not even poking into it. They're just kind of hanging up there to keep it from sliding off.
Perfect, I love it.
These have already been two-coated, so just a little wet distress. Just hitting the high spots where they would have normal wear and tear from being old and used.
We make new stuff look old again.
Said the voice from off camera, who knows where. You can also distress just some 220 sandpaper. Takes off the high spots real well and smooths that out really nice.
Okay, so I'm just using clear wax. And when we do decor, we just usually do like one coat And after it's dry, then we'll just take the buffer and buff it off. This is the DIY clear wax, and I like it because it goes on super, super smooth.
All right, over here, I've got the JRV American Mills stencil. And then I've also got one of our repeating stencils that can be used for tile or big walls or big pieces of furniture that are really fun. So I'm gonna do both of these in tarnished pearl in DIY paint. And I'm using the JRV stencil brush, the number 20. It's gonna make quick work of this.
I'm white waxing over this gray to kind of give it a stone look. And I clear waxed them first so it wasn't like super crazy. And then I'll let it sit for about 20-30 minutes and I'll come buff it off. Okay, so I'm just going over this with our Buffy, which is the smaller buffer. It's perfect for smalls. Gets down in all the details, removes excess wax, and helps buff it. You should probably wait overnight to buff your items for optimum finish.
I'm just gonna do a real light distressing on these and then gonna clear wax the top of these seats. All right, now on with the DIY clear wax. And this has got some white wax in the brush, which is okay because the rest of this has been white wax. So we're just gonna blend it all in together and it'll be a happy, happy little stool.
It was never a Christmas stool.
It never wanted to be a Christmas stool. It wanted this on it. Someone's gonna come by and be like, oh yeah, that needs to be in my house. All right, same story over here. It's got a little white wax on it, so it's all just gonna blend in real nicely together and go over the top of the tarnished pearl and be a nice, durable finish. Depending on humidity and things, wax takes about 30 days to cure. So if you're worried about your finish coming off or it's gonna be somewhere like in the kitchen where it might need to get scrubbed real hard, you're gonna wanna let that sit and cure up before you start using it. You need like a candle or something to sit on
I'm
them.
gonna go look in my shoppy-doo. I got these down here that I wasn't gonna paint, so just gotta take off the price tag. Where's that other one? It took yesterday's live video that we're gonna link below and today to get Christmas out, get the back room organized. Now the paint's all done. We'll be able to get a ton of projects out. We also restaged this area of the shop. I have probably another day ahead of me to get the shop completely into shape, and then it'll be good for, a few weeks. If you want to achieve similar looks and knock out your projects, be sure to visit JamiRayVintage.com, or you can stop by our Lehigh shop in Lehigh, Utah. We'll drop all the information below. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.